What up, guys? You know what it is. I'm back again with another review, and today it's sort of like a review and a half, and I'll tell you why in a bit. And as you can see here, we got both of these badasses here. Marvel Select Ultimate Venom, non-variant, variant, black version, complete black version without logo, version with the logo. And might I say, both of these figures are pretty damn hard to find in the box, mint condition, and the reason I said it's a review and a half today is because we're only going to open one of these, and the one that I choose will be shown in a couple of seconds. So stay tuned for that But yeah, let's take a look at the packaging on both of these things, these monstrous hulks of beasts of boxes. We got double the Venom right here. Not too much variation in the packaging itself, other than maybe this one's a little lower in the jaw than this one, as you can see here. It doesn't really matter. And the back's pretty much the same. I mean, they show both Ultimate Spider-Man and Black Cat, and the figure itself with a comic book, and a read-up on Ultimate Eddie Brock. So yeah, let's crack one of these open, shall we? Bam! So here he is fresh out the box, and I kept the twisty ties on here just for, I thought it was a nice kind of touch that they made them black, because it kind of looks like miniature symbiote tendrils or pseudopods or whatever you want to call them. But let's just get all of these off of there. Come on. There we go. Yeah, automatically this guy's just a hulking beast. I know like most, if not all, incarnations of Venoms are hulking beasts, but this guy, I guess, takes the cake as a hulking beast. The sculpt is pretty sick. Like, this is a hefty. It's actually pretty light, but it does look like a hefty figure. And it is one of the older Marvel Selects. Came out in about 2005, I believe. So yeah, it was one of the first ones, Spider-Man villain-wise. But the articulation and sculpt are pretty damn good for its time. Right off the bat, like, let's take a look at the logo. That's my favorite part about every Venom figure. I'm not too crazy about the crookedness of it, and there's a little bit of blue staining in the white of the painting. I'm not too sure why that is. Maybe that's the color of the substance the figure is made out of itself underneath. But other than that, the logo looks pretty sick. I do understand that they probably did have to curve it, otherwise when you move this, it would just misalign everything. I like how the lines came out pretty clean there, because sometimes you have issues with paint bleeding through. Not in the case here. I'm going to try to hit the lighting a bit more on this guy so you can see that there is some pretty cool spots of purple in the black, which I think looks fantastic. I mean, I've seen blue done before, dark blue, gray. This is the first time I've seen purple done with the black on a Venom sculpt. So I have to say, if they took a risk, it surely paid off on this guy. The claws are pretty menacing. Big ass Freddy Krueger grab you claws. The boots are sick. They're not just, some big block of foot. They didn't pull a Kunta Kinte and chop off his toe or anything. It's pretty well molded on there, as with any other Venom figure. Same thing with the logo on the back. I don't know. Maybe they spent so much time on everywhere else of the sculpt that they were like, screw it. Let's just do this and dip. But yeah, I would have liked if the logo came out a bit better here. But, for what it is and for, what I got this figure for and how hard it is to find, I'm alright with it. Especially since we have the new Marvel Select Venom that came out last year. Anyways, onto the head. I like the tongue. I remember that's how he looks in that issue of the comics with Venom and the moon. Like, I forgot which issue of Ultimate Spider-Man it was, but it's on the back of the box, ain't it? Yep, it's right there. Yeah, so the likeness is down to a T with that. Otherwise, I'm not too sure why there's like gray bits of the symbiote here. Maybe just to give it a bit of differentiation. But it kind of looks like warts, so maybe you'll have to freeze those. Anyways, back to the head. I think they did a pretty sick-ass job with the head for Ultimate Venom. The teeth look fantastic. I'm going to try to shine the light a bit more onto them. They're not just plain white. They do have shading on it, so it's kind of like similar to like Marvel Select Rhino's horn, where it's kind of like a a dirty, dirty ivory. And I like the tendrils here. I like how they're not just all reaching one way. They're kind of just unsettled. It's just like he looks like a black purple mess of Nestle Quick gone wrong. And that's fantastic for this guy. I mean, they really nailed it. Now for the articulation, like I said, it's decent for when he did come out in 2005. He does have wrist swivel. Not so much bicep or elbow extension flexion, which is alright because his arm's just massive. But he does have bicep swivel, so that's cool. Shoulders go up and down, rotate. Do they rotate 360? Not quite. I'm not too sure why that is. Maybe because of issues here with the tricep, the bulging ass tricep. But yeah, that's alright. Do they go in and out? Not so much, no. As for his legs, he does have some hip extension and flexion. Now it's not perfectly straight back. When he extends his hip, it's curved. His knees are pretty much stuck like this, much like the re-released Marvel Select Green Goblin with Peter Parker unmasked. But that's cool. He has a little... Wow, he has a little bit of ankle pivot. Which is weird, because he doesn't really have ankle flexion at all. But that's cool. That's different. I'm not complaining there. Same thing goes for the other leg. It's a bit more straight than the other one. So he's kind of like this all the time. But that's cool. As for his waist and abdomen, he does have swivel, a crazy swivel here. He can go 360. He's Ultimate Venom, so he's kind of more freaky than the normal Venom. He doesn't have, as someone corrected me before, he does not have a diaphragm joint, or an ab flex, whatever you want to call it, ab crunch. I like diaphragm better, actually. It's more... As for his head, it probably could rotate 360, although I'm not going to force it because these things are rubbery and flexible, but, you know, I don't want to rub paint off on anything. But the head does have good rotation. It goes up a little bit, but it comes back down, so I guess it's not really meant to, right? So, and of course, it can't move up, it can't move down either. So as far as the accessories he comes with, he does come with, quote-unquote, a base, which is kind of dwarfed by him. And he comes with Spider-Man or Peter Parker unmasked, basically attached to a wall. But yeah, this would pretty much click into here. And mind you, this Peter Parker wall part is seems kind of heavy, so it doesn't really stand up without this to counteract the weight. Now, one thing I thought was cool, that it comes with a little beaker. It's a solid black. It's not translucent or anything, but it's nice that it's an addition anyways. But it does come with this beaker of, I guess, what's supposed to be a container for the symbiote itself. And it's cool because this safe here actually opens. And my only issue is it gets stuck on this piece of symbiote here, so you kind of have to push this up and down, respectively. And you can actually store this thing in here, which is pretty sick. And I mean, you know, I'm not sure why it would be in there still if Venom already has a symbiote and Parker's webbed up on the wall there. But yeah, it's pretty cool for an accessory. And here he is next to the newer released Marvel Select Venom. He's only a bit I guess this guy would be the same height, if not taller, if his knees weren't bent like that. But, you know, this guy's more massive width-wise anyway, so it kind of makes up for it. But, yeah, you can see the differences there. He's got the web shooters, which are, I'll say it again, it's pretty damn sick that he's got the web shooters with the raised bump for the web to come out in his wrist there. This guy doesn't, and he's not supposed to, really. You know, the biggest difference is the quality of the logo here, which I guess is where the variant is one that's a bit nicer. Because let me see if I can get you a closer look here. I love how like the purple sheen on the variant is just, it pops, right? It pops just more than this one because it's covered up by the white. But yeah, they're both pretty nice figures. This one's a whole deal of a lot rarer, you know, and much more valuable. Which brings me to the point where I said that I was not going to open this guy. And let me just move these guys over so I can give you a better look at him. And shine the light on him. Yeah, so I've decided that I'm not going to open this one. And I'm actually willing to sell it. So, any decent offers, just send me a message and maybe we can work something out that way. And I'm also willing to trade it. Other figures I'm looking for are SH Figure Arts, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and maybe even, Carnage, Ultimate Carnage. Although I'm not a big fan of it, it's something I don't have. So, if you got an offer, hit me up. Otherwise, that's been Marvel Select Ultimate Venom, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Peace!